الله يبارك فيك.
السلام عليكم دكتور أمجد.
عليكم السلام، أهلا السيد المساعد رئيس الجامعة للشؤون العلمية الأستاذ الدكتور حيدر عبد الظاهر المحترم. أهلا وسهلا، شرفتنا دكتور.
أهلا بك دكتور. طبعا باسمي وباسم السيد رئيس الجامعة والجامعة التكنولوجية نرحب بالدكتور محمد ويانا ضيف اليوم في الجامعة التكنولوجية. الحقيقة أنا قرأت فحوى المحاضرة جدا مهمة، بالإضافة إلى السيرة الذاتية للدكتور. يعني نتشرف الحقيقة في الجامعة التكنولوجية بأن تكون جنابكم ضيف عندنا اليوم في هذه المحاضرة المهمة، والحقيقة نتطلع أنه يكون هذا بداية تعاون حقيقي مع الجامعة التكنولوجية. بأمانة الجامعة التكنولوجية تفتح أبوابها لأي تعاون مع جنابكم ومع كل الأساتذة العراقيين في الخارج، خصوصا الكفاءات العالية المستوى مثل جنابكم في كل المجالات. اليوم اكو سيمينار محاضره، لكن اللي نتمناه ايضا انه يكون التعاون ايضا تعاون بحثي، تعاون ممكن اذا عندنا اشراف مشترك، تحب نرتب مع تدريسين الجامعه على طلبه الجامعه، اذا اكو اشراف مشترك لتدريسينه معاكم هناك في الجامعات الماليزيه، هذا كله ابواب مفتوحه ومشرعه الحقيقه، ونتمنى يكون بها تعاون كبير جدا بيناتنا.
والله ان شاء الله ان شاء الله.
شكرا جزيلا دكتور.
الله يخليك دكتور، شكرا لك.
نعم دكتور أمجد بلش ان شاء الله
باذن الله باذن الله. يسعدني ويشرفني ان التقي بحضراتكم في محاضره ضمن سلسله محاضرات الاستاذ الزائر التي تنظمها شعبه البحث والتطوير في رئاسه الجامعه التكنولوجيه. ضيفنا لهذا اليوم دكتور محمد العبيدي، دكتوراه اختصاص في مجال الذكاء الصناعي وتكنولوجيا المعلومات، حاصل على شهادة الدكتوراه من جامعة UKM الماليزية. دكتور محمد هو مدرب ومسوق في علوم بيانات والتعليم الآلي والتعليم العميق، ولديه خبرة تمتد لأكثر من 13 عاماً في هذا المجال، وهو مدرب معتمد من قبل صندوق التنمية الموارد البشرية في ماليزيا. تدرب تحت يده أكثر من 1500 متدرب حتى الآن. دكتور محمد، الجو إلك ويشرفنا ويسعدنا انضمامك إلى ضمن برنامجنا. شكرا لحضراتك.
شكرا جزيلا لكم، بارك الله بكم، رمضان كريم عليكم وكل عام وانتم بخير، إن شاء الله شهر خير وسلامة على الجميع. طبعا أشرف بهاي الدعوة وأشرف أنه أكون من ضمن المحاضرات الأستاذ الزائر بجامعتي. طبعا هي جامعة تكنولوجية، يعني خريج الجامعة التكنولوجية. شكرا لكم وشكرا للحاضرين. طيب إن شاء الله اليوم محاضرتنا راح تكون على the future in data science and analytics. So we are going to focus on what, why, and how. All right. So we are going to go through the introduction to data science and big data science requirements and tools, then the introduction to artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning, then big data science methodology, which are the methods and the stages that anyone in the field of data science or any data scientist, they need to follow to complete or to accomplish one project working in the field of data science. And then we are going to share some big data science applications by the well-known companies, and then we are going to focus also on the involvement of artificial intelligence in other industries and the involvement of artificial intelligence in the IR 4.0 and IR 5.0. Then, if I have time, definitely I will share with you some data science projects and then some of the current applied big data science in the industries. Okay, so to make things easy and to make things understandable for those like they are from very fresh to this topic, because I believe when we are talking about graduates and lecturers and people into the field of maybe computer science, information technology, computer engineering, they might be very familiar with these topics. And other people, they might be like a little bit far from these topics, while big data and data science now involved in all industries, in all fields, in all companies, because all of them, they are generating data. So they need to work on this data. Okay, so we are going to go through what are all of these terms like big data, data science, data scientists, artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and why these terms on high demand currently, why there is a necessity to learn all of these terms and to master them and to use them in offices, in industries, and other fields. All right, and then we are going to share on how to use them and how to master them. All right, so to start with this introduction, it is talking about the big data. Talking about the big data, I think it's big data, it's quite difficult to find a definite definition about the big data. But we can say big data, it is the data that's been generated by individuals like us and by machines. All right, machines can come from offices, organizations, and industries. So we need to find a way to archive the data and then to sort the data in a way and then to structure the data. All right, because normally the data that we generate is considered as a messy data, considered as unstructured data. All right, so we need to find a way to subtract this data. Subtracting the data is going to be into columns and rows, and then we are going to apply all the analysis, analytics, machine learning, deep learning to get insights from the data and to turn data into a value. And value could be a profit, which is like to make money from this data, or could be a way to improve the infrastructure of the country, could be a way to improve the health educations, the healthcare system, could be a way to improve the education system, security, and so on. All right, so talking again about big data, it is always like big data associated with the amount of data. So once we hear about the big data, we think big data, it is about like, okay, how many number of images considered as a big data? Is it like 1,000 images, 100,000 images, 1 million images? So which one is a big data? Talking about big data into documents is like how many number of pages to consider as a big data. So big data, it is not about the amount of the data. It is not about the quantity of the data. It is about the facts that make that data is a big data. So what are these facts? These facts, those facts, like when we read in the book, and the books that related to the data science and big data, it's quite vary to see, okay, what are the exact facts of the big data. So in this book, which is one of the very latest book, it's a hands-on introduction to data science. They say in this book, the author said, it is big data is considered as the data that comes with the volume, velocity, and variety. Some other books, they consider big data that the data comes with these 6 V's, which is the volume, variety, velocity, veracity, value, and variability. All right. Some other like vlogs, they consider the big data is considered as the data that comes with these 5 V's or 4 V's or 5 V's. Sorry, these are the 10 V's. All right. So I'm going to share with you the one that by IBM and how do they believe that the facts of big data that make the data as a big data, which is the data that comes with these 5 V's: velocity, volume, variety, veracity, and value. So when you talk about velocity, it is about the speed that data accumulated. Now, data accumulated in very fast time. If we talk about ourselves as individuals, if we just monitor our phone, our mobile device for 1 day, so you can see there are a huge amount of data we receive daily. We receive a lot of messages. We receive a lot of images. We receive a lot of videos. We receive a lot of emails. All right. So there's a huge amount of data we receive daily, and we are only individuals, and we are only using one device, which is our mobile device. So what about if we are like in the office? What about those offices? What about industries? What about organizations? So you can see the huge amount of data being accumulated with a very short time. So it's like a high speed, the data accumulated. Volume is about the scale of the data. It's like how much data being accumulated within short time. All right. Variety, it is about the structured and unstructured data, and it is about the formats of the data. So back to our example, we as individuals using the one device, which is our mobile device. So we receive data daily, and this data comes in different formats. Comes in videos, comes in images, comes PDFs, comes in Microsoft Word and many other formats. All right. And it's not only about the format, it's about the structured and unstructured. And it was said that 80% of the current data that we have is considered as unstructured data. Unstructured data, it means the data that it is not in rows and columns. So we need to find a way to structure the data. Then after we can structure that data, then we can get the insights from the data. All right. Then moving forward to the fourth V, which is the veracity. Veracity, it is about the quality of the data that we have. Normally, the big data that we have, it is not all the data going to be a good data to be used later on for analysis, or to be used later on to get insights, to turn that data to a value. All right. So that's why now we are moving from big data to quality data, or big data to good data. All right. And always the good data is considered as a smaller part of the big data. Okay. Then the fifth V is the value. Value, it is about how to turn the data that we have to something can be beneficial for the infrastructure of the country, or beneficial for us as individuals, or can be turning to make a profit. All right. So any data that comes with these 5 V's, then we consider that data as a big data. It's not about the quantity of the data. It is not about the amount of data, or it is not about like how many GB is the data that we have, or how many megabyte the data that we have. It is about those 5 V's. And definitely, with the full respect to others that they believe that big data maybe comes with other facts, other V's. All right. I believe that one also will be considered as a big data, is quite subjective. But I shared with you the one that is like the most common one, I believe, 5 V's. And that one is provided by IBM, by a professional course for data scientists, provided by IBM. All right. So moving forward, as long as we have this huge amount of data, then we need to study that data. So that's why we have the field which called data science. All right. And if you want to search about what is data science, then there is also no definite definition about the data science. Reading in books, reading in the blogs, reading in the vlogs, you're not going to find a definite definition of the data science. Some people, they say data science, it is like any other science, which is the study of data. Some others, they say data science, it is the process that we do on the data to get insights from the data. Vlogs, like online courses, they say data science, it is about uncovering insights from the data and to use those insights to make recommendations or to have new findings. And those new findings are going to help companies and organizations to improve their revenue or to solve their problems. All right. So as a summary of this definition, I would say data science is the way of exploring the data, manipulating the data. Manipulating the data, it means manipulating the values, all right, to be easy to use later on by the algorithms. Those algorithms comes by machine learning, deep learning, all right, and the way of analyzing the data, okay, and to use the data to answer questions, to solve the problems, and to make recommendations. All right. So as long as we have this field of study, which is data science, so we need people to work in this field. So those people working in this field consider as data scientists. All right. We call them data scientists. And again, the definition of data scientist could be vary from one book to another, one vlog to another, one blog to another, maybe like one course to another. Some people, they say data scientists could be only those like really professional in coding, or data scientists only those people who are PhD holders, or data scientists should be someone very good with the statistics, should be statistician or mathematician. But I believe data scientist, it is someone who extracts insights from messy data. And this is what I found in this book. This book is a very interesting book related to the field of data science. It is Data Science from Scratch. This is the second edition. It's a new book. So in simple way, they describe data scientists. It is someone who can extract insights from messy data, or I would say is someone who curious enough to extract insights from a messy data. Okay, all right. So moving forward, we talk about big data, data science, and data scientists. Then why always the data analysis and data analytics comes with the data science or comes with the big data? All right. Data analysis and data analytics, it is about study deeply the data. All right. It is about to go deep to understand the data, to go deeply in the data, to understand the problem of the data. And all of these steps, normally we do by the analysis and analytics, okay? And you may ask, what is the difference between data analysis and data analytics? It is still quite subjective, but I believe because of the current tools that we have, then we can sometimes differentiate between data analysis and data analytics. But I would say when we talk about data analysis, it is something that associates with the machine learning and deep learning. So data analysis is about to find the problem of the data and then to solve that problem by using machine learning algorithms or deep learning algorithms. All right. While data analytics, it is about to find what is the problem of the data and then to go beyond that and to find, okay, what is the cause of that problem? All right. Sometimes data analysis could be like taking like a bunch of the data from the huge amount of data, taking a bunch of the data and working on that bunch. Could be like a sample of that data, or could be like a way to solve the problem of that small size of the data. And then when we are able to solve that problem, then we can apply this solution to the rest of the data. Okay, all right. So this is in general why data analysis and data analytics associate with the data science and big data. Okay, so now it is a hot topic, and it is something on high demand currently, and it's something related to the IR 4.0, and definitely is going to be related to the IR 5.0, the industrial revolution of 4.0 or 5.0. We are going to talk about it by the end of this presentation. But there are a lot of articles you can see on LinkedIn, you can see on Facebook, so and any type of social media. They said data science is considered as the sexiest job of 21st century. So why they consider it as the sexiest job of the 21st century, sorry. It is considered as the sexiest job because they say it is a skilled worker job. So what does it mean, skilled worker job? A skilled worker job, it means you don't have to study data science. You don't have to have a bachelor in data science. You don't have to have a master in data science. You don't have to have a PhD in data science to be a data scientist. You just need to master those skills. You just need to learn coding, to learn machine learning, to learn the available tools that related to data science, to be data scientists. Then you are going to get a job which is considered as the job #1 currently worldwide. Okay, and you are going to get a salary which is the highest paid salary, even higher than those developers, even higher than those who are professionals in coding. Okay, but this belief, it was like 3 to 5 years ago. But now the good thing, or maybe the good news about data science and for those data scientists, now universities, colleges, they are offering a course in data science. So we have now a bachelor in data science, we have a diploma in data science, even master and PhDs also we have in data science. So this could improve this field even better, and this also could like provide more data scientists, because it was believed by the year of 2025, only the US, if they are going to hire all the data scientists worldwide, they are still going to be in need for more data scientists. And that the report, it was revealed by Amazon. Okay, so that's why they call data science is the sexiest job of the 21st century. All right, so what data scientists normally do, as long as they have the sexiest job and they have the highest pay salary, and it's like even the demand on or the job opportunities are very high. So what normally data scientists do? To make things very simple, okay, so normally data scientists, they build either a predictive model, or they build a descriptive model, or they build a recommender model. Predictive model, it is about to learn from the current data, to learn from the well-known and labeled data. Then that model will be able to label or describe the new coming unlabeled or undescribed data. All right, and definitely by the help of all the algorithms provided by machine learning and deep learning. Descriptive model, it is about to build the model that can divide the data into groups and into clusters based on the features, based on the contents of the data. All right. Recommender model could be a combination of the descriptive model and predictive model, and could be more also with the data analysis to build a model that can be able to recommend things based on what we normally like, or what we normally buy, or what normally we do. All right. So it sounds good. It sounds like something like really huge, and especially when it comes to the business. So how big data is driving the digital transformation? I'm going to leave you with this very short video to listen to it. And this is explain like how now companies moving to digitization, all right? And how after digitizing, or how after like using all these digital data to improve like any kind of task normally they do, or they used to do manually, or they used to have the human interaction to accomplish that task. Okay, it's only like 2 or 3 examples, but it's just to give you a quick understanding about the involvement of big data and business.
Digital transformation affects business operations, updating existing processes and operations and creating new ones to harness the benefits of new technologies. This digital change integrates digital technology into all areas of an organization, resulting in fundamental changes to how it operates and delivers value to customers. It is an organizational and cultural change driven by data science and especially big data. The availability of vast amounts of data and the competitive advantage that analyzing it brings has triggered digital transformations throughout many industries. Netflix moved from being a postal DVD lending system to one of the world's foremost video streaming providers. The Houston Rockets NBA team used data gathered by overhead cameras to analyze the most productive plays, and Lufthansa analyzed customer data to improve its service. Organizations all around us are changing to their very core. Let's take a look at an example to see how big data can trigger a digital transformation, not just in one organization, but in an entire industry. In 2018, the Houston Rockets, a National Basketball Association, or NBA team, raised their game using big data. The Rockets were one of 4 NBA teams to install a video tracking system which mined raw data from games. They analyzed video tracking data to investigate which plays provided the best opportunities for high scores, and discovered something surprising. Data analysis revealed that the shots that provide the best opportunities for high scores are 2-point dunks from inside the 2-point zone and 3-point shots from outside the 3-point line, not long-range 2-point shots from inside it. This discovery entirely changed the way the team approached each game, increasing the number of 3-point shots attempted. In the 2017-18 season, the Rockets made more 3-point shots than any other team in NBA history, And this was a major reason they won more games than any of their rivals. In basketball, big data changed the way teams try to win, transforming the approach to the game. Digital transformation is not simply duplicating existing processes in digital form. The in-depth analysis of how the business operates helps organizations discover how to improve their processes and operations, and harness the benefits of integrating data science into their workflows. Most organizations realize that digital transformation will require fundamental changes to their approach towards data, employees, and customers, and it will affect the organizational culture. Digital transformation impacts every aspect of the organization, so it is handled by decision makers at the very top levels to ensure success. The support of the Chief Executive Officer is crucial to the digital transformation process, as is the support of the Chief Information Officer and the emerging role of Chief Data Officer. But they also require support from the executives who control budgets, personnel decisions, and day-to-day priorities. This is a whole organization process. Everyone must support it for it to succeed. There is no doubt dealing with all the issues that arise in this effort requires a new mindset, but digital transformation is the way to succeed now and in the future.
Okay, all right. So that was about the involvement of big data and data science in the business and in the current industries. Okay, so it sounds huge. It sounds like big amount of data. It sounds like it is a bit difficult to work on such amount of data on our computer machine. Even now we are demanding and more bigger storages. We are demanding more like efficient computer machine, but it still is like in the real world working on the big data, we still cannot handle that huge amount of data to use all the algorithms, to use like whatever tools that we have for the analysis and analytics to work on the data. So what we have something we call it cloud for big data. And the cloud for big data, they consider it as the godsend for data scientists. Why? Because now we can have the data, okay, on the cloud. So, and it is not only having the data on the cloud, it is also having all the tools, all the algorithms, all the data science and all the data analysis and data analytics tools that we need to work on the data also available on the cloud. Okay, so we are not going to use our computer machine to work on the data. We are going to use our computer machine. It's only to get the connection to the data which is on the cloud and to use the tools which are also on the cloud to do whatever we need to do on the data and to get the results. And let's say even if we have like a bigger storage, or we have very efficient computer machine and we want to work on the data, or maybe we are able to work on the data that we have, at the end of the day, definitely we are going to have a problem with the processing time or the deployment time. It's going to be definitely much longer comparing to the processing time that is on the cloud. All right, so this is considered as like maybe one of the tools, maybe one of the very, very effective tool for data scientists and for the people who are into data science to use and to maximize their results and to maximize the achievements working on the data. All right, so big data science requirements or advices, or who can be data scientists. Because now we believe data scientists, it is not only the one that was into graduated from computer science department, or graduated from information technology, or graduated from computer engineering. Data scientists, we need data scientists in every field. We need data scientists in law. We need data scientists in finance. We need data scientists in all kinds of industries. We need data scientists in all fields. So who can be data scientists? And again, people always think data scientists, those are statisticians, those are coders, those are mathematicians, or those are PhD holders. Definitely the field of data science, working on the big data, working on using all of those tools to work on the data, definitely all of them based on statistics, based on codes, based on mathematics, based on many other things. But the good thing, we have now a lot of third-party libraries, a lot of functions, and those functions being built based on complex math and complex statistics. So we don't have to know the statistics behind it. We don't have to know the math behind it. We just need to know how to use those tools. So mastering these tools, knowing how to use these tools is going to take only a time. And then those people, they can be data scientists and be in their field. But at the same time, definitely those people who are good in statistics, who are good with the coding, who are good with the math, definitely they can speed up the time to be data scientists in their field. All right. So what are the advices for data scientists? Advices for data scientists, or the characteristic of data scientists. I believe those who are curious, those who are argumentative, and those who are judgmental, and those who are able to tell a story. All right, argumentative and judgmental sounds negative, but when it comes to data science, it is very positive. And why? They have to be curious. The first one, they have to be curious, because we say data scientist, it is someone who is curious enough, all right, to get insights from a messy data. So their curiosity will help them to get insights from the data. All right. They have to be argumentative. Why they have to be argumentative? Because they need to convince people about their findings. They need to convince people about how did they solve the problem. They need to convince people about their results, their improvements. So they need to be argumentative. So it is in a positive way, not in a negative way. Judgmental, definitely they have to be judgmental, because they are going to get a lot of results. They are going to get a lot of issues. They need to judge those results. They need to judge these issues by how to solve them. And building any model by using machine learning or deep learning, we are not always getting 90-something result. Sometimes the model could get an accuracy result 60-something. So because the data scientist got a good skills, and that data scientist is good with the judgmental, so they can judge that result, and they can say, okay, with such a data and with such a model, we cannot go more than 60% or 65% accuracy rate. And sometimes other projects could achieve up to 90-something, 91, let's say, for example. But because the data scientists are judgmental, then they would say, no, the result is good, but we can improve the results even more. All right. Then the last one, able to tell a story. Able to tell a story, definitely they need to improve their communication skills, to talk about their findings, to talk about their results, and they need also to be good with the graphics. They need to be good with the data visualizations. So by the data visualization, by the graphics, it's going to be easy for them to convince others. It's going to be easy for them to explain to others, especially those people who are far from the IT department, or they are far from all of these technologies. All right. So those are the main character of data scientists. So what data scientists need beside that? Definitely data scientists need to learn about artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. Data scientists need to have a good background about programming language. Could be Python programming language or R programming language. They need to be good with the data preparation, data wrangling, all right, to manipulate the values, to prepare the data to be used by the machine learning algorithm. They need to be good with the data visualizations. They need to be good with the SQL database coding. All right, and all of these technologies, all of these tools, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of like how much time they are going to invest to master them and to use them working on the data. Okay, all right. So as long as we mention here the artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. So what are those terms, and what is the differences among them, or what is the relationship among them? All right. So talking about artificial intelligence, it was started during the 50s when just the computer machine launched. And it is about how to make the computer machine, they say how to make the computer machine smart. So what does it mean smart? How to make the computer machine able to answer questions like a human answer those questions. And how to make the computer machine smart or answering questions, it is by instructing the computer machine. Instructing the computer machine, it means we are using coding to instruct the computer machine and to accomplish a task of like a group of instructions. Then that one we call it a program. And we have many computer programming language to create different type of programs. All right. So this is the artificial intelligence. Then moving forward, since 80s, okay, now we moved to the era of machine learning. Machine learning is considered as a field of artificial intelligence when we use less coding and more learning. And why we do so? Because we have a huge amount of data, because we have the big data. So now we are learning from the data. We are using statistical algorithms, and those statistical algorithms belong to the machine learning and the types of machine learning. All right. And those algorithms helping us to learn from the data, okay, and to make a decisions on the new coming data on behalf of us. And why we need that? Because we have a huge amount of data. Now a human cannot handle the huge amount of data manually. It's not like before. We used to handle everything manually. Now we cannot handle this huge amount of data manually. All right. So we use those algorithms to automate decisions, to automate the task that we used to do it manually. All right. So, and then we have deep learning. Deep learning is even more promising in terms of accuracy than machine learning. And deep learning is considered as a subfield of machine learning. Why it is considered as a subfield of machine learning? Because deep learning, it is about one of the machine learning algorithm, all right, which is the artificial neural network or a neural network. It was developed and become more complex to handle the huge amount of data that we have. Okay, and the main, or I would say the significant difference between machine learning and deep learning, it is the feature engineering. So when it comes to machine learning, we still need to extract features to be used later on by the algorithm. While deep learning, we don't need to extract features. Deep learning will automatically use the feature that it is good for learning. Okay, and deep learning, it is about getting better accuracy when the data increase. While machine learning, when the data keep increasing at a certain level, machine learning won't be able to improve the results. While deep learning, more data, better accuracy rate. All right, and now we are still in the era of 4G, moving to the era of 5G. 5G is still not common worldwide. Some countries, they have it. Okay, but when it's going to be common, so the amount of data is going to exponentially increase. So I believe in the future, we are going to move also from machine learning to deep learning to work on that huge amount of data. Okay, all right. So talking about the artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning, it seems like there are procedures or there are steps to work on the data. All right, and this is what we call a data science methodology, or others, they call it data science life cycle. Data science methodology, it was the term that used by IBM. Data science life cycle, it was the term that been used by Microsoft. Some others, they call it data science process. All of them, they have like 90% common stages, 90% common steps to work on the data and to handle the data and to get insights from the data. Okay, so I'm going to share with you very quick the one that by IBM. IBM, they believe that data science methodology it's about those 10 stages, started by business understanding, ending by feedback. Business understanding, it is about understanding what is the real problem, what is the main problem of the data, and to come with the main goal and main objective. Moving to the analytic approach is going to be on the problem. So during the analytic approach, we are going to know either we are going to build the predictive model, the descriptive model, and even to know which algorithm we are going to use to solve that problem. And those algorithms, definitely those algorithms that are related to machine learning and deep learning. Then data requirements and data collection. Data requirements is about, okay, what is the required data to solve that problem? Data collection, it is about checking whether the required data is available or not. But currently, we don't spend that much of time into those two stages because the data is available currently, and the data is like provided by all of those companies, organizations, industries. They just need someone to work on the data to solve the problem that they have or to get insights from the data. Data understanding, it is about when we are going to start the computer programming language to understand the data, to look at the columns and rows, to look at the issues that the data have, and then trying to solve those issues during the data preparation. Data preparation is about data wrangling and exploratory data analysis. During the data wrangling, we are going to solve all the issues of the data. Could be missing values, could be turning categorical columns to numerical columns, could be normalizations, could be formatting, could be many other issues. So during the data wrangling, we are going to do a lot of manipulation in terms of the values of the data. EDA, or the exploratory data analysis, we are going to find the correlation between the features. Features means the columns of the data set. Then after that, the data is considered as clean. The data is considered as ready to be used in the modeling stage. Modeling stage, it is the stage that we are going to use the chosen machine learning or deep learning algorithm during the analytic approach to be implemented and to be applied on the data set that's coming from the data preparation. And then definitely we are going to get a result. Then we have to evaluate the results. If the result agreed upon, then we can deploy the model. Deploying the model, it means we are going to get a lot of feedbacks and feedbacks to see how good is the result, how good is the model, how good is the model in predicting, how good model in describing new data, how good the model in working on the new coming data, and so on. And normally, data scientists, they think when they deploy the model, it means their job done. While the actual job of data scientists will start when they deploy the model. The first step in the data scientist's life or the data scientist's duty is to build a model and deploy it, to reach the level to deploy the model. Then when they deploy the model, they have to work on the new coming issues. Why is going to be new coming issues? Because definitely there are new data coming, right? Data generated daily. There are new data coming, so they need to work on the new data. Working on the new data, it means like data with the new issues, data with the new problems, data with the new missing values, and so on. They need to work on it, and they need to maintain the same accuracy, right? Or they need to improve the accuracy, right? All right. So machine learning and then the types of machine learning. As long as it sounds like a lot of problems and sounds like many models that we have to work on, then I'm going to share with you the types of machine learning. All right. I think in most of the current books that are related to machine learning, they focus on the supervised learning and unsupervised learning, but I'm going to try to go beyond that and to share with you the 4 types of the machine learning. The first one is the supervised learning, or I would call it train me. Why train me? Because during the supervised machine learning, we are going to build a predictive model. We are going, the model going to learn from the labeled data, all right? And then that model going to be able to predict the label of the new coming unlabeled data. All right, so it is only about training, learning from the labeled data, and then the model will be able to label the unlabeled data. Okay, and when we talk about supervised machine learning, then definitely we are going to talk about regression and the classification. Regression, when we have historical data, when we have data based on time, data based on history, data based on like maybe there are an increase or decrease based on other value, all right? And this is what we call it correlation. Then we can use the regression algorithms to build a predictive model. If the data is not a historical data, or they don't have a correlation, then we can use a classification. Classification, it is about to know the data is belong to which class, the new coming data is belong to which class, or it is going to take the label of which class. All right, and under regression and classifications, we have algorithms, and those algorithms, we use them to build a predictive model. All right, unsupervised machine learning, the second type of the machine learning. Unsupervised machine learning, it is when the data has no label. All right, we don't have the label of the data, so we are going to group the data into groups based on the features and the contents of the data. So for example, if I just talk about myself as individual, I talk about my photos now in my current device, in my mobile phone. I have many photos, some of them related to food, some of them related maybe to places that I travel to, some of other photos related to Wi-Fi, selfie, and many other photos related to things that maybe currently I do, or maybe the hobby that I do. So, and all of these images are unlabeled, all right? So if I use the unsupervised machine learning algorithm, all right, working on my images, so the algorithm at the end of the day will be able to group all the images of food together in one group or cluster. Those photos of maybe my selfie, my Wi-Fi will be together. Those photos, maybe places that I travel to will be together, and so on. So this is the result of the unsupervised machine learning algorithm. Semi-supervised machine learning algorithm, it is considered as a combination between supervised machine learning and unsupervised machine learning. All right, so we have the data, and the data comes with a very few labels. All right, the data, not the whole data are labeled. So what we do, usually, we cluster the data into clusters, all right, by using the unsupervised machine learning algorithms. And then definitely each cluster will be having a very few labels. So those labels can be used for the whole data in that cluster. Why? Because they are together, because they are sharing the same features. So they are about the same thing. So they can share the same label. All right. Then the last one, reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is considered as totally different than those three types of machine learning. Reinforcement learning, it's about to build the model that learns from the mistake. And the model going to take an action, going to take a movement, going to take a decision, going to take maybe consider a label of the data, and will learn from that decision or that action, whether that action is good or not. So when the model going to take a right action, will take, we call it, we will take a reward, and the reward will be +1. And when the model going to take a wrong action, so will take a -1. So that model will be trying to get as much as possible of rewards. And one of the common applications of the reinforcement learning, it is the model that being used currently in the autopilot driving, autopilot cab, autopilot train, autopilot airplane, all the drones, all the current cars, the one that you can move the car without a driver. I think that the one that started first, it was Tesla, but now moving to many other car manufacturer. And even now, reinforcement learning also, like there is a combination with the deep learning. There is something we call it deep reinforcement learning, and that one is to improve the result even more. All right, so moving from machine learning to deep learning and the types of deep learning, we have these common types of machine learning, and those types based on the application we use deep learning for. The very common one is the artificial neural network, and this is one of the very common application. It is the pattern recognition. Convolutional neural network, CNN, it is widely used currently, and it is very promising algorithm in terms of results when it comes to image processing. All right, recursive neural network, RNN, it is for the speech recognition. And you can see the involvement of the RNN in all the like Google Assistant, like Siri, Alexa, Cortana, and many of those voice recognition apps, or some like it now comes even in the cars. All right, and not only in the cars, even comes now in our appliances and many other devices. The fourth one, it is the deep neural network. This is for the acoustic modeling, and this is about helping people to create a music or to choose the right music to the contents that we have, maybe to the movies or to the images that we have. And then the last one, which is deep belief network, and this is for the cancer detection, especially when we have the image, the medical image of cancer, and working on those images and kind of predict which image is cancerous, which image is not cancerous. Okay, all right. So what about the data science application? So we talk a lot about the definition. We talk about those people into data science, what normally they do, what are the tools they need, or even what are the types that we have currently of those machine learning and deep learning. So what about the applications? So talking about the main application is going to be building a recommender system, building a classification model, building a regression model, building cluster analysis. These are the main models going to build. And it's like, if I'm giving this a presentation like 5 years ago, maybe I will mention those giant companies like Google, Amazon, Oracle, Apple, Facebook, Instagram, and those giant companies. All right, but currently the applications of data science, the applications of artificial intelligence being applied in even in startup companies. All right, startup companies also, they use the applications of artificial intelligence. All right, but let's just take a quick understanding about the applications that have been involved in those companies. One of them is Facebook. All right, Facebook, they have a model, they call it deep fake. This model being built based on both machine learning and deep learning. And this model help Facebook, all right, to predict and to detect the fake videos. And they reach accuracy rate up to 82.56 so far, and in predicting the fake videos. And those fake videos being posted by the users on Facebook. Another one is deep text. Deep text also based on, I believe, machine learning and deep learning and natural language processing to understand our posts, to understand our comments, to understand our likes, to understand our slang. And it is not only about one language, it's about all the current available languages. Deepface is one of the earliest model being built based on deep learning by Facebook. And the result now by Deepface is even better than the human eyes. And this model, it is about to predict and to tag based on the facial recognition. So if we take a photo, like we together, we take a photo and we post it on Facebook. So Facebook will automatically tag or suggest tags to your friends, as long as that friend, you have it in your friends. All right. Sometimes even we cannot recognize people, but Facebook will be able to recognize people, and they reach accuracy rate up to 97.53 sometimes. All right. Another applications based on machine learning and deep learning used by Facebook is preventing suicide. So based on the human behavior and based on the behavior of that user on Facebook, Facebook might predict that this person going to commit suicide, so will automatically call the emergency. And I think this application being in the US so far. Another one, I think everyone facing it currently, it is the target advertising. Target advertising definitely based on the understanding and the study and the huge involvement of data science to cluster the customers based on maybe based on the age, based on their location, based on their interest, likes, and so on, to suggest to them the right ads. And it's not only about Facebook. Google also, they use the applications of machine learning and deep learning. I think all of us, we are familiar with the Google Assistants. Google Assistants will be is like another voice command or voice assistant to help us to search for things to wear, for places to go, for photos to look, and so on. Another application of machine learning and deep learning by Google, it is the Google Gmail. Google Gmail currently classify the new coming emails into 3 categories, all right? And first of all, Google Gmail going to classify the new coming email either as a spam email or as a ham email. A spam, it is the unwanted email. Ham, it is the normal email. Then the normal email will be classified under either as a social email, promotional email, or as a primary email. And if you check your Gmail account, if you check your Gmail email, so you see you have in your ham emails, you have the social, promotional, and primary. And then definitely when we talk about the search engine, Google, it is like the #1 search engine currently we use and been improved a lot based on the applications of machine learning, deep learning, especially for getting the best result and ranking pages. Then before we end today's presentation, then the involvement of the machine learning and deep learning for the e-commerce. When we talk about e-commerce, definitely we have to talk about the recommender system. Recommender system, it is about to suggest for us things based on what normally we like and what normally we buy or normally we watch, as you can see by all the e-commerce sites and by the other websites like YouTube, Netflix. And it is not only recommending things based on what do we like or buy normally, it is about also recommending things that we are not aware of, but we might like it. So based on our neighborhood, based on our location, based on those items considered in that surround IP, our IP address, people are watching it or buying it, then going to be recommended to us. All right. Another application is the price optimization. Price optimization is going to be, it is like to have the best price at all the time. All right. So on the e-commerce site, sometimes you can see the price could be changed in a very short time. Why? Because they use price optimization. Price optimization is important for the customers, people who are buying that item, and is also important for the provider because they want to have a competitive price to other e-commerce sites. And then the chatbot. Chatbot, it is the chat that pop up normally when we visit any website. And this is what I was talking about now. Even the startup companies also, they use the applications of AI. And one of them is the chatbot. Chatbot used to be very human based. So used to have like people like replying us, people are replying our chat, but now we are using the chatbot, and chatbot being built based on the machine learning, deep learning to automate the response. All right, and it's not only about those companies, AI involved now in finance, healthcare, e-commerce, recruiting, and so many other fields, AI involved. And then we are still in the era of Industry 4.0. In short, what is Industry 4.0? Industry 4.0, it is about the digitization and automation. Digitization and automation is still under the IR 4.0. And when we talk about automation, it means we are talking about artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence and the applications of artificial intelligence, machine learning and deep learning doing the automation. All right. And then now we are moving forward to the IR 5.0. IR 5.0, it is going to be the advanced applications of the artificial intelligence, if I can say. So we are going to use robotics to do our daily tasks. So we used to drive the car to go to the office. Now going to be the car going to drive us to the office. We used to do a lot of tasks. We do it manually. Later on, we are going to have robotics to do all of those tasks. And mainly later on, the the technology and the improvements of those robotics will be based on IoT and Internet of Things, and then the big data, definitely under the umbrella of artificial intelligence. Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate that you are listening to me. I'm so happy to present this part of my current research and my current courses that I provide for my trainees. Please, if you have any question, go ahead, and I would love to have you on my social media. This is my LinkedIn profile and this QR code for my Facebook profile. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mohammed. Thank you for the massive lecture, informative lecture. Actually, I enjoyed, and I will abuse my authority as an organizer to ask first. As I understand, you have described the data scientist as a talent person who doesn't need to be a baccalaureate or master degree or PhD person. From here, I would like to ask you, how do you think the degree will add a value to the data scientist?
Okay, great question. Thank you. So I believe to have a degree in data science, either diploma, bachelor, is going to help people to be more disciplined, because bachelor or diploma is considered as a discipline study. All right. So they are going to study all the needed skills, all the needed tools to be data scientists later on. But as long as you ask me, doctor, it's very interesting questions, and this is what we are like. Maybe we need to build an awareness about this field. You know, normally when it comes to bachelor, when it comes to either master, PhD, or diploma, it's very academic based, right? So it's going to be a lot of theory, so very theoretical. We always have lack of practice. So it's going to be good if we can provide more practice for those people who are studying, for those students who are studying data science as a bachelor or studying data science as even master or diploma. And the good thing is we have a lot of data sets available on the net. All right. We just need to inform them, and you need to drive them to start practicing on those data sets. It's not only about learning the theory. It is not about learning all the math and the statistics. It's about also how to apply it later on. So they are going to be good later on in the market, and the market needs them. All type of industries need those people, data scientists, to work with them.
Thank you. Thank you. I start to have the feeling we have been watched from all the applications, all the internet I have been used. Actually, also I would like to open the door for the questions and the inquiries. So I will start with the QA section. So we have a question from أستاذ مدرس همسة معا. السلام عليكم. اختصاص العام الإحصاء والدقيق بحوث عمليات حاسوبية. هل هناك دراسة للتخصص في هذا العلم في ماليزيا وكيف ألتحق بها؟ عندك معلومة دكتور؟
نعم. الاختصاص الدقيق هو الإحصاء بحوث عمليات حاسوبية. هل هناك دراسة للتخصص في هذا العلم في ماليزيا؟ نعم موجود. اكو هواية جامعات هسه حاليا يعني they offer data science as a bachelor.
تمام.
even يعني حتى هسه وصلوا مرحلة انه الجامعات، اعتقد هسه اكو جامعة اسمها تايلرز حاليا انا دانت بها الماشين ليرنينج as a subject. راح تكون عندهم اول دفعة يتخرجون ماستر in data science.
تمام. نعم. إن شاء الله تكون إجابة الدكتور واضحة لحضراتكم. طبعا إحنا يعني كجامعة تكنولوجية أيضا نحاول نواكب هكذا علوم. يعني قبل يومين بالتحديد تم إطلاق موقع إلكتروني خاص للدراسات العليا فيما يخص الأمن السيبراني. ويعني هذا الموضوع أيضا يعني في طور أنه الجامعات العراقية تبدي تفتح دبلوم عالي ومن ثم تنتقل من بعد الدبلوم العالي. فأتوقع أيضا في مجال البيج داتا أو الداتا ساينس راح تبدي الجامعات تحذو نفس الخطوات هذه في فتح مجال للدراسات العليا في هذا الاختصاص. حقيقة
والله هذا في يعني هذا في
نعم
شيء ممتاز.
إن
واحنا
شاء
نتمنى
الله.
نقدر نساعد يعني
والله
كسيلباس ككوريكولم، نتمنى
بالضبط
نقدم كل شيء
دكتور،
للجامعة التكنولوجية.
أنا حقيقة أريد أنتهز هذه الفرصة أنه أطلب من حضرتك، يعني أنا كنت أتمنى يمكن دكتور حيدر لسبب يعني زحمة انشغاله يعني لو كان متواجد أيضا، يعني حقيقة أتوقع رأيه يصب في نفس اتجاه ما أسعى إليه، وهو أنه إذا أمكن تقدم لنا فد بروبوزل حتى نحاول نخاطب القسم المعني، وبالتالي القسم المعني اللي هو علوم الحاسوب وهندسة الحاسوب في الجامعة التكنولوجية نحاول نعرض على الأساتذة الدكاترة الموجودين، نعرض لهم مقترح أو نواة فكرة أنه نفتح على الأقل فد فرع أو نفتح فد تخصص معين في مجال الداتا.
والله إن شاء الله أكيد أتشرف.
إن شاء الله نبقى على تواصل مع حضرتك بهذا الجانب، ضروري جدا. إذا أكو مداخلة عن طريق ممكن عنوان الجامعة اللي تعطي هذا التخصص وكيف أتواصل معهم.
والله نعم عفوا دكتور تفضل.
نعم دكتور، هو حضرتك هذا موجه.
نعم دكتور، والله يعني هي بماليزيا كدراسة هنا عندهم جامعات حكومية وعندهم جامعات أهلية، وبالعادة الجامعات الحكومية هي أفضل حتى كرانك عالمي، هي أفضل من الجامعات الأهلية، وحتى تكون أجور الدراسة بها أقل. حاليا يعني تقريبا يعني كل الجامعات عندهم هذا الاختصاص، يعني لأنه هو يعني في الشيء كلش on high demand in the market، فبدأوا يعرضوه يعني على بكل الجامعات. فيعني أنا مثلا كرأي شخصي إذا هي مثلا دراسة ماستر أو دراسة دكتوراه، فيفضل أنه تكون بأحد الجامعات الحكومية لأن هي الرانك مالتها أعلى. وأيضا موجود يعني الأذر أوبشن، يعني الالترناتيف أوبشن أنه الجامعات الأهلية.
يعني هم مثلا أكو في بالك اسم معين لجامعة معينة؟
اوكي، هي الجامعات الحكوميه هي اليو كي ام اللي هي تعتبر ناشونال يونيفرسيتي اوف ماليزيا، عندهم هذا الاختصاص. عندهم اليونيفرسيتي مالايا اللي هي الجامعه الماليزيه، عندهم هذا الاختصاص. عندهم اليونيفرسيتي تكنولوجي ماليزيا، الجامعه يعني التكنولوجيه الماليزيه هم عندهم هذا الاختصاص. عندهم اليو بي ام يونيفرسيتي بوترا ماليزيا، جامعه الملك اعتقد او هيك شيء بالعربي، عندهم هذا الاختصاص. واليو اس ام اللي هي اليونيفرسيتي ساينس ماليزيا
نعم.
عندهم هذا الاختصاص. طبعا الالترناتيف تكون عندهم جامعتين اهليه اللي هي رقم واحد هنا دائما يتنافسون على المرتبه الاولى، هي تايلرز وسنوي، هم عندهم هذا الاختصاص.
ممتاز ممتاز، شكرا جزيلا دكتور. دكتور في الحقيقة هو الإبداع يعني كيفية أنه تخلق فد مصيدة حتى تجمع البيج داتا. يعني أنا بديت أحس
نعم.
أنه الفيسبوك وهاي الوسائل الأخرى الانستا وغيرها هي عبارة عن تراب، يعني أنه الشخص أنه يسلم بياناته أو يسلم معلوماته أو توجهاته.
نعم.
انه تسلم الداتا، تسلمهم الداتا. يعني هسه المريض يروح للمستشفى هو لانه تمرض وصار عنده انه يعني سبب يجبره يروح، اما احنا هذا يعني تسليم يد بدون مع ميوزيم مع استمتاع انه احنا نسلم بيانات لهم. يعني لطيف جدا ما شاهدته من تحليل الباسكتبول كورت، انه كيفيه انه يعرفون البوزيشنز ويسوون اناليسز، وهذا الشيء ذكرني ايضا بالبنالتي كيك بالسوكر، ايضا يسوون فد يعني داتا اناليسز، يعني يصير عندهم بريدكشن الجول كيبر on which side is going to jump. So in this case the players can be more aware about the direction of the goalkeeper. يعني هذا ايضا يعني صارت البيج داتا تدخل كل المجالات.
نعم دكتور اكيد 100%. والله يا استاذ دكتور هسه السبورت يعني خاصه الفوتبول والباسكتبول يعني هي ترى 100% اي يعني كل الخطط وكل النجاح اللي دا يصير هو ترى الانفولفمنت مال اي. وهسه كانوا حتى يعني مثلا نشوف هاي النوادي الاوروبيه شوفهم يعلنون على اللينكدين، يعلنون على كل مواقع العمل، يريدون ديتا ساينتست بالكلاب مالتهم.
نعم بس أنا يعني النقطة اللي أنا لين بعيد يعني شوية عن مجال الحاسبة، كيفية تحويل هاي البيانات إلى كودات. هاي يعتمد على أنه يكون متعلم لغة برمجة اللي هي البايثون أو الجافا سكريبت أو something like this.
نعم بالضبط. بالعاده احنا نركز على البايثون. ليش نركز على البايثون؟ لان البايثون هو يعني الموست كومن programming language among data scientists. هاي اولا. ثانيا اكو كلش هوايه third party libraries to be used as a tool to work on the data. يعني السبب الرئيسي ايضا Python programming language انه هي لغه سهله للكل. هي لغه يعني multi purpose language and it is object oriented language. لغه يعني يعني البرفورمانس مالتها عالي، وبنفس الوقت هي لغه سهله للكل انه يتعلموها.
تمام. بس اعذر جهلي، يعني هل العمليه هاي تاخذ وقت؟ يعني مثلا انه مثلا يعني عمليه نقل هذه الستاتستكس الى كودات هي عمليه تاخذ وقت. يعني هسه انا بديت اربط انه مثلا انا اشتغلت على سيستم، وهذا السيستم كان يسوي ميجرمنت للريلاتيف هيوميديتي والتمبريتشر، وانا انزلها كاكسل شيت، وهذا الاكسل شيت هو داتا، وبالتالي الداتا هاي يمكن سهوله انه يعني صار عندي statistics، وعمليه تحويلها الى كودات هاي يكون 1 باي 1 لو اكو فد صيغه سريعه جدا. يعني اتوقع لازم انه اكو فد عمليه سريعه جدا، والا عمليه تحويلها 1 باي 1 هذا يعني فد شيء يعني take too much efforts.
اوكي دكتور، حلو هذا الكويشن. هم اعتقد يعني على الجميع هم يصير عندهم فكره اوضح. هو دكتور بالعاده اعتقد حضرتك تسال على الداتا هاي الموجوده، هي نحن نعتبرها unstructured data.
نعم.
اللي هي مو داتا موجوده بروز اند كولومز. فاكو اختصاص هم يعني هي يدخل بالداتا اناليسيس اند اناليتكس، انه شلون تتحول هاي الداتا الى structured data. رايت. او عندنا هوايه تولز هي تو اوتوميت هذا التحويل. يعني اكيد احنا ما راح نقعد نسوي وحده بوحده، يعني واحد بواحد.
نعم.
بس يعني اكيد هي هم راح تاخذ وقت، وهي هم تعتبر العمليه يعني احد العمليات الرئيسيه، انه نتحصل على structured data and we start working on the structured data.
تمام. يعني اكو فد اختصاص او شخص مختص لو هو نفسه الداتا ساينتست، هو نفسه انه هذا يكون part of his job.
اوكي دكتور، حلو ممتاز. هذا السؤال هسه هنا احنا هذا السلايدز اللي عرضناه اللي هو هاي الستيبس اللي normally people in data science they have to follow، يعني which means they are the data scientists.
نعم.
The data scientists they need to know all of these steps. بس اكيد الداتا ساينتست هو ما راح يكون وحده، هو راح يكون عنده تيم. هذول التيم ممكن واحد يسوي الداتا requirements، واحد من التيم يسوي الداتا understanding، راح يكون عنده تيم يشتغل بالداتا preparation، تيم يشتغل بالموديلنج، وهو going to supervise them. So data scientists they need to know all of these steps, but definitely later on the job going to be as a teamwork job.
Makes sense. Thank you دكتور. خل بس نرجع على أكو سؤال. How do you be sure that the data you acquire and analyze is completely ethical and address the concerns of those who think with the growth of big data, the risk to our privacy and security issues are bigger?
All right, perfect. طبعا هو هذا الشيء اللي هسه حاليا هي يعني اعتقد سبب الميديا، يعني not because I'm into data science, not because I would love to consider myself as data scientist. It's like, normally when we talk about the privacy, what we do? Normally we share our passport with the travel agency when we want to travel, which is our identity and our passport details is more important than the data that we share normally on social media or with those people who are working on the data. We keep our money, which is our daily living. We keep our money in the banks and we trust the banks, but we are not trusting our data currently. All right. So I think it's another awareness. We don't have to really worry about the data that we share, as long as we are not sharing any really private data. Okay. what the data that normally those people they are looking for. Maybe they are looking for on our what is our interest, what do we buy, where do we go. Normally when we travel, where do we stay, where do we travel to. And the main idea is going to be to build maybe a better infrastructure, to build maybe a better investment, to build maybe another shopping mall, to build, and at the end of the day also they are building for us services, and those services helping us to ease the tasks, the daily routine tasks. So I think the awareness of the data, it is only about not sharing the real private data, okay? And any other data, if you ask me personally, I would love to share it as long as I'm going to have a better services, as long as I'm going to have a better security system. You know, now when we talk about security, when we talk about all the plans that been made by any kind of security system in any country, either comes from the police, comes from the army, it is all based on the technology. It is all based on the involvement of AI and the applications of AI. So if I'm going to have a better security system, I'm going to be safe in the place that I'm living. So why not I share just my data? I share that things that normally I can share, not things private.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Doctor. Actually, it's also related to the policy of the country, and also depends on with whom you are sharing your data. So if you're sharing your data with a well-known company, and also if you're living in country with a strict policy with this kind of things, so you can judge them and you can like take many actions against them if there is any provoke to your privacy. I would like to say thank you, Dr. Mohammed, and thank you for your time. Thank you. I think right now it's around 3 a.m., 3:30 a.m. in Malaysia. Appreciate your time, appreciate your lecture. I hope we are going to cooperate more in the future, and إن شاء الله. شكرا جزيلا لكل الحضور، ممتن لوقتكم الثمين بعد الإفطار. جزيل الشكر إلى دكتور محمد الذي يعني أمتعنا اليوم بهذه المحاضرة القيمة. ممتن جزيلا لكم وأشكركم، وإن شاء الله نلتقيكم في محاضرة أخرى ضمن سلسلة محاضرات الأستاذ الزائر التي تنظمها شعبة البحث والتطوير في رئاسة الجامعة التكنولوجية. شكرا جزيلا للجميع.